A good day of work out there. I thought we got a lot done. A lot of the first and second down stuff installed. Some good on good speed work with the ones versus the ones, which I think is good to get early in the week. I thought we came out of the game pretty healthy. I was pleased. I know you guys saw the injury report, but it was good to have those guys out there practicing today. Questions?
How much of a challenge is it now that school is starting for your players?
It's something that you have to learn to manage. You know, it's one of the parts of being a major college football player that is critical, I believe. And I talk about this in recruiting all the time, that in Rutgers, you can be great academically and you can be great athletically. Now, there's other things that are going to have to take a back seat. You're probably not going to have the same social life as a regular student, but that's one of the sacrifices that you give up so that you get the privilege of running out of that tunnel on Saturdays.
I know you said JJ kind of earned some reps in training camp. Now, what do you want to see from him as he goes forward?
I think he's got it. We got him some game time, so we got him out there against good people, and some plays he was okay, and some plays he needs to improve. And now I just want to see him continue to work. If he continues to work, he's got good talent. You know, he'll get better, and he'll become a consistent player, which for all of them is what we really want. We want a high level of performance on a consistent level.
Oh, you had 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing. Where do you want to see the offensive line make its next improvement?
I'll go back to my last comment, consistency. There are plays on that film that we can block better. You know, there are plays where PJ may run through two arms when he should only have to run through one arm because we do just a little bit better blocking. And that's where I think we have to push ourselves. There's a lot of experience in that group. Expectations are very high in terms of performance. So I thought they performed well, but I think they can perform better. And now as we go week to week in the season, I want to see them get better.
Your bye week doesn't come to week 7. I look at it. You haven't had a bye this late more than a decade. The Rutgers team hasn't.
I didn't look at that.
Did you have to tweak your schedule? I know you tweak your training camp routine a little bit. Did you have to tweak it? Do you have to go on grass a little bit more? Do you have to avoid hitting some days? I mean, did you have to tweak it at all?
We didn't tweak it for that reason in training camp. But as you get into the season, there's no doubt that you have to manage it. And knowing where your bye week is part of managing it. So it's never identical from year to year, because even if your bye weeks were the same, your team health might not be the same. So you really have to manage the reps in practice, for the players, for the first team, for the second team, and then we do have a nice mix of going on the turf and going on the grass. So we do try to mix that up. Most players will tell you that the grass is better. Helps you recover a little bit quicker. We've got brand new turf that we're practicing on, so I don't know that there's that significant a difference, but we do try to go on both during the week.
I think Alan Lucy and Dre Boggs were the only two true freshmen who played in that game. Was that schematics? Was that road environment? Was that game situation? And did you expect more of them to play as we move forward?
A little bit of all those, and health, I would say, would be the last factor in that. I do expect more freshmen to play as the season goes on. I would be shocked if those were the only two that ultimately played. I expect a few more to play here as we get into the next couple of weeks.
Do you have a point in the season where you know who's going to play and you finally redshirt those guys ultimately?
The line of demarcation for me is the 6th game. That's really where you have to make a decision based on who has played, who hasn't played. Has there been an injury to a player who has played? For the first 6, they can still redshirt if they've had an injury. So that's the line of demarcation for us. If a freshman hasn't played by game 6, in my mind, it would have to be an extraordinary circumstance for that freshman to play. You never say never, because we're playing to win the next game on our schedule to be 1-0 this week. But after game 6, we've made those decisions for the most part.
Kyle, it's obviously a much different offense you're prepping for this week than last week, but where do you want to see the most improvement just from week 1 to week 2 for your secondary?
I want to see better fundamentals. I don't know that will be exclusive to the secondary, but I think when you talk about every player in their position, alignment, assignment, technique. Alignment, assignment, technique. Those are things that you control on a day-to-day basis as a player, and those are things that you should be able to improve on a little bit each day. And only playing one game a week, you would hope that they would be noticeable to some degree on game film.
I think you target Janarian on pretty much every kind of level, short passes, intermediate, and you have that one long one. Just how much does it add to have him being able to do all those different things?
He's an explosive guy. He's a very valuable guy in an offensive system like Ralph's, and Ralph's got the ability to put him in a lot of places. And over the course of the season, we'll see that. So it's he's a weapon. Every time he touches the ball, he's got a chance to run away from you. So I thought he did a good job in the game.
Has there been any change that you've seen in approach, attitude coming off of a win like that? Or
I
they're
thought-
saying?
I thought the players came out and worked hard today. I thought the conditions were probably as warm as we've had all training camp. You know, for today, I didn't think it was that hot out, but it's probably as warm as it's been. So that's another challenge that gets thrown into it. The first day of classes is a challenge that gets thrown into it. But I thought the players have come out. I think they've continued to work hard. I thought we had a good Sunday. And yesterday was their day off, and I thought we had a good Tuesday.
Obviously, you guys have had good success against Howard over the last couple of years, but how key is leadership going to be for this game to stick focused on that game and not get too far ahead, you know, with Rutgers, with Penn State on the phone?
Your question speaks to two things. One, being able to stay focused on 1-0, which always that message, as much as we will trumpet that message as a coaching staff, it has to be carried with your players in the locker room, and that's the seniors that you're talking about. The other part of it is the ability not to get ahead of yourself. You know, you only control one of these games at a time. So whatever the schedule is after this game is really, it doesn't exist to us in our world, and we're going to stay focused on this one.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.